Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures.
I appreciate you being here with me to log an entry in the travel journal. Today we'll be scuba diving the airplane wreck at the Cut and Run dive site in Eleuthera. This is part 2 of Dive 11 in this 19-part dive series. All of the dives were made from a liveaboard dive boat that started in Nassau, cruising through and diving in the Exumas, Eleuthera, and returning to Nassau. This is the Caribbean, and there are a lot of stories here, a lot of tall tales. The story I was told about this dive site being called the Cut and Run dive site was that these pilots in the plane were smuggling drugs, and I guess they thought someone was after them, but they had to ditch the plane. Now that story doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to me if they were in the air, but nonetheless, that's the story I was told about how this dive site got its name. This dive site also has an anchor with an extremely long chain that was cut or dropped, and there's a story that it was dropped intentionally for a similar reason. So I don't know why the dive site is really called Cut and Run, but I was told 2 different stories. If you've been told a different story, I would love to hear it. Please share in the comments. The plane here is resting in about 65 feet of water. From the looks of it, in terms of the growth, I think it must have been here for a while. In terms of dive metrics, the dive started at about 2:45 in the afternoon and lasted about 55 minutes. I recorded an average depth of 56 feet and a maximum depth of 81 feet. You can see that sailboat in the background that we explored in the last video. My dive computer reported an average water temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's that anchor rod or chain that I mentioned earlier. I never did follow it to the end to try and find the anchor, but I was told there was still an anchor attached to one end. It looks like we have a Nassau grouper out in front of us. The Nassau grouper range in size from 1 to 2 feet, reaching a maximum of 4 feet, and are most often found in depths of water from 20 to 100 feet. Note the distinctive black saddle spot on the base of the tail. Also, the dorsal fin is notched between the forward spines. This is the Nassau grouper. We'll see if we can get a little closer. You can really see that black spot now. I spy with my diver's eye a great barracuda. The great barracuda range in size from 1.5 to 3 feet, reaching a maximum of 6 feet. I've never seen a 6-foot barracuda. They're most often found in depths of water from 0 to 60 feet. The distinctive features of the great barracuda include the silver body, which is long and cylindrical. Also the large underslung jaw with the pointed teeth. We'll see if we can get close enough to get a view of those teeth. Sometimes they're shy and sometimes they're not. I probably should have gone a little further forward and approached the fish more from a perpendicular perspective. I feel like I was a little too far behind him. Here we are at the edge of the wall, and of course we're going to go over and take a look. I believe this is a striped parrotfish in the intermediate stage. The striped parrotfish range in size from 8 to 9 inches, reaching a maximum of 10 inches, and are most often found in depths of water from 10 to 80 feet. Occasionally, when I'm on a wall like this, I like to take a moment and just stare out into the deep blue. It's the Bahamas, so of course there's a reef shark. We'll keep an eye on this one for a minute and see if he turns around. He might be as surprised to see me as I was to see him. They're often very curious. Looks like we have a queen triggerfish. Trying to keep an eye on the shark and look at the queen triggerfish at the same time. The queen triggerfish range in size from 8 to 16 inches, reaching a maximum of 2 feet, and are most often found in depths of water from 10 to 50 feet. Now where did that shark go? There he is. I had a feeling from the way he changed directions that he was going to circle back and have another look at me. I love seeing reef sharks, but I don't ever want to turn my back on them or really lose track of where they are. Back to the wall. I really didn't spend a great deal of time exploring the wall. Obviously, we had the sailboat, which was part 1 of this dive, and then we had the airplane wreck, which was part 2, and combined some of the wall with the second part of this dive. There's definitely a lot to see on this dive site. Again, the name is Cut and Run, and it includes all 3 of those, right? It includes the sailboat, the airplane, and the wall. So there's a lot going on here. Looks like a stoplight parrotfish darting into the frame and quickly moving on. Looks like we have a couple of spadefish near our anchor line, our mooring line rather. The Atlantic spadefish range in size from 1 to 1.5 feet, reaching a maximum of 3 feet, and are most often found in depths of water ranging from 10 to 70 feet. Again, I gotta keep an eye on my friend the reef shark. Here we have a second reef shark joining the party. Again, it wouldn't be the Bahamas without sharks. Another quick peek over the edge here at the sharks, and then I better turn around and get up that mooring line. Another great dive here in the Bahamas.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.